Welcome to We Learn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 35 of the subject The Study of Sociology, and the chapter is Society and Culture. The topics to be covered are concept of society and culture, emergence of sociology, social groups, kinds of social groups, major concerns of sociology, concept of culture, sociology and science, some founding fathers, sociology and other social sciences, social psychology and sociology, sociology and economics. Again, sociology and anthropology, basic and applied sociology. What is sociology? Sociology can be defined as a study of society or social life, of group interaction and of social behavior. So sociology can be defined as the study of individuals, as a study of human beings, how they interact and act with each other, and the society or the social life. Concept of society and culture. Society has been defined as a relatively self-sufficient, usually large group of people who maintain direct or indirect contact with each other through a culture. So they have a culture through which they maintain contact, whether direct or indirect. Culture is generally understood as the shared language, beliefs, goals and experiences that combine together to form a unique pattern. So basically, culture is understood as a shared language, beliefs, goals and attitudes that combine together to form a unique pattern. Emergence of sociology. During the 19th century, sociology emerged as separate social science in Europe, and its objective was a study of society. Auguste Comte, Spencer and Emile Durkheim, besides several other social thinkers, sought to establish the idea of society as a matter of study, unique in itself. A sociologist is interested in the general study of social behavior as it occurs in groups, large or small, and lays stress on understanding social life in the contemporary world. The word general has been used as other social science disciplines deal with more specific areas. For example, a political scientist studies governmental functions and activities, and an economist studies production and distribution of goods. So a political scientist studies the functions or studies the practices which are related to the government and activities, and an economist studies things and disciplines, production and distribution of goods of his or her interest. Social groups. Just as every human being is born in a society, everywhere social life is lived in groups, whether large or small. The term group is used in different ways. There might be a group which is watching a game in progress. There might be a group of people crossing a street. In sociology, the group is viewed in a different way. This leads to a study of how people relate to each other or interact with each other. Social group therefore would have to have the following: a group of persons, two or more, a patterned interaction. There is a continuity in the social relations based on shared beliefs, values and norms, and the interaction is sustained over a period of time. The tile groups are formed in order to satisfy some human needs. So there are some human needs, and the tile groups are formed to satisfy those human needs. Kinds of social groups. The classification of social groups in two major types is based on the extent of attachment the individual would have to a group. The major classifications are primary and secondary groups. A primary group has been defined as one in which the members have very close or intimate relations and there is an emotional involvement. So a primary group is something very important where the members are attached and they are very close to each other and they have the emotional involvement. In contrast to the primary group, there are secondary groups as well. In the secondary group, members interact with one another in a very specific range of activities. The relationships in the secondary group are more casual, impersonal, and for specific purposes. A student body of a large college is a secondary group as they interact as students. You can see yourself how the relationships between the family and in a workplace differ. So a student body of a large college, that is a secondary group, as they interact as students and they interact with themselves only. So that is a secondary group, and you can see your relationships between the family and the workplace, they also differ. Concept of culture. Culture is another very important concept. As mentioned, we are immersed in culture from birth onwards. We take culture for granted. It's difficult to imagine what life would be like without culture. Culture provides us summing up of the past experiences which are the necessary foundation for living in the present. Culture is learned and shared among members of the growing. Sociology and science. At times, sociology has been defined as a science of society. This raises the question as to what science is. Some have thought of science as an approach, whereas others have thought about it in terms of the subject matter. Simply stated, we might say that scientific approach consists of certain assumptions that the phenomena studied have a regularity and hence a pattern. The method emphasizes observation and verification of social phenomena. Sociology and science. This involves a systematic approach to the study of phenomena. The systematic approach consists of defining a problem for study, collecting data on the problem defined, analyzing and organizing the data which would help in formulation of hypothesis, and for further testing of the hypothesis, and on the basis of this develop new concepts and theories. So basically the meaning of hypothesis is when imaginary situations are formed and when unreal situations are or circumstances are created. Some founding fathers are Auguste Comte, 1798 to 1857. Comte is regarded as the founder of modern sociology, that is the first one to have used the word sociology. He tried to create new science of study which could not only explain the past of mankind but also predict its future course as well. The theological or the religious, the metaphysical or the philosophical, the positive or the scientific stage. In the first stage, people thought all phenomena were caused by supernatural forces. Abstract forces of either a religious or secular type were considered to be the source of knowledge in the second stage. Emil Durkheim. Durkheim was also interested in sociology, being a scientific discipline. He wrote a book in 1895 entitled Rules of Sociological Methods. To him, social solidarity was one of the main principles of human life. He distinguished between two kinds of solidarity, mechanical and organic. Mechanical solidarity based on common assumptions, beliefs, sentiments like those found in traditional societies. Organic solidarity based on the division of labor and or based on the division of labor and interrelated interests as found in industrial societies. So mechanical solidarity is based on common assumptions, beliefs, sentiments or attitudes, and organic solidarity is based on the division of labor and other interests. An important concept given by Durkheim was social facts, which according to him are external to the individual but they exert pressure on the individual in the behavioral pattern. Customs, traditions, folkways are social facts. He felt that sociology should be involved in the reformation of society. For him, society was a reality in itself, that is, it is more than its parts. So the society's whole is more than its parts. Max Weber. Weber used the concept of social action rather than social relations. A comprehensive study of social action to him meant understanding the meanings human beings give to their behavioral patterns. The social behavior was not merely a mechanical learning of norms but how people interpreted the social values. Sociology studies all kinds of social actions without making any value judgments. So without making any bias, sociology studies all the social actions. Weber was concerned with undertaking of interrelations between parts of society and also with comparative studies of different societies. He studied religion in different societies. His work, Protestant Ethics and the Spirit of Capitalism, is one of the well-known works in sociology. Weber used the concept of social action. His work, Protestant Ethics and the Spirit of Capitalism, is well-known works, though both these approaches he tried to develop propositions having general validity. Karl Marx. Marx has helped through his ideas in understanding the nature of society, particularly how conflicts occur. How conflicts occur between haves and have-nots, between the rich and the poor class, he described that. Marx writes in 1848 that all history is a history of classes and class struggles. style society gets divided between the oppressors and the oppressed, masters and slaves, lords and serfs, and in the modern times, capitalists and workers. So he has given the distinction of society from the ancient time. To analyze the structure of society, it was necessary to understand the forces of production and relations of production. The contradiction between the forces and the relations of production leads to class fights and class struggles. So, relations of production, the relations which are involved, the haves and the have-nots, and the forces of production, the economic forces of production which are involved here. Herbert Spencer. Spencer also emphasized a total view of society. According to him, the study of sociology covers the fields of family, politics, religion and social control, division of labor, and social stratification. He emphasized the study of whole more than the study of part. Style, individual institutions have significant relations. He indicated that the interdependence of the various parts was functional, that is, each of the part performs different functions which is necessary for the total well-being of society. He said that each of the part performs various functions which are important for the overall growth and development of the society. Sociology and other social sciences. As mentioned earlier, sociology has a broad perspective. It is concerned with those aspects of social life which are present in all forms. It embraces every social setting. So, sociology, it embraces every social setting and all aspects of social life. Most related social sciences have restricted range of specializations. Social psychology and sociology. Social psychology is a study of social and cultural influences on the individual. It focuses on the behavior of a single person and hence differs from sociology, which is more concerned with relations among groups. So social psychology, that includes the study of social and cultural influences on the individual, and it also focuses on the behavior of a single person and how it differs from the relations with other groups. Sociology and anthropology. There are many fields in anthropology, namely archaeology, linguistics, physical anthropology, and social anthropology. Although anthropology has been regarded as a study of early cultures and sociology of the more contemporary society, this distinction is no longer valid. Many of the early village studies in India have been done by social anthropologists. Sociology and economics. Sociology and economics both study industry but do so differently. Sociology studies the industry from the social society point of view, and economics studies the industry but from an economic or a financial point of view. Economics would study economic factors of industry, productivity, labor, industrial policy, marketing, etc., whereas a sociologist would study the impact of industrialization on society. Economists study economic institutions such as factories, banks, trade and transportation, but are not concerned with religion, family or politics. And sociology is concerned with religion, family and politics. Sociology is interested in interaction between the economic institutions and other institutions in society, namely political and religious. So, sociology is concerned with the interaction between the political and religious institutions in society. Basic and applied sociology. Sociologists are interested in conducting research studies in the area of social life and developing theories with regard to human social behavior. The purpose is to build a body of reliable knowledge through which various aspects of social life can be understood and explained. While this is important, it's necessary to make use of this knowledge in various aspects of human affairs. There are many factors which have an impact on social relations. Increased use of technology is one such area. Sociologists could anticipate as to how people will receive and react to new technology and changes it might bring about in social relations. Sociology thus provides an understanding about the social order in which we live and about the forces that shape and mold it. So sociology thus provides an understanding about the social order where we live and also about the forces that shape and that they mold it. It also suggests paths of action to ensure the emergence of new social patterns. Imaginatively pursued, the study of sociology enables LIS to understand the condition and the predicament of human beings. So, sociology also suggests patterns of action to ensure the emergence of and the coming of new social patterns. It can also help in finding solutions for the present problems and dilemmas of society. So that was all about social behavior and sociology, how societies exist and how they also maintain relations with each other. These are some of the questions you have to do it yourself. Question number 1, what is society? Explain the concept of society and culture. Question number 2, what is social group? Explain the type of social group and explain the relation between sociology and economy. That's all in this session for you. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.